freaks of nature? Well, then come on down to Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Biohazard Mike 88 channel. I got another Mike Madness movie review here. I'm going to be reviewing Three from Hell. So, just came out on DVD yesterday. Did not have a wide theatrical release. It was smaller. Little backstory on the production. Sid Haig, you know him as Captain Spaulding. He was ill going into this movie. He did not play a major role in this movie. That's what I was reading. And when I watched the movie, unfortunately, it is true. He makes a small cameo in it, and he's not in the movie a lot, but it was great to see him anyways in his final film. Unfortunately, he passed away not too long ago. But it was really great that he got that one last, like, because I know I read that he was almost giving up on acting, and then Rob Zombie, you know, revitalized his acting career with Captain Spaulding, and he said he loved the character. It was great that he got one more outing as Spaulding, even though it's a small cameo. It was still really good to see him. Going into this movie, I was a little worried. You know what I mean? The trailer, to me, it kind of did look a little cheesy. You know, I was running this over with, you know, my cousin who's a big horror movie fan, and he has no interest in the movie, so... And I'm going to say right now that this movie exceeded a lot of my expectations. It's pretty good, and I'm going to tell you why this movie is good. Sheri Moon Zombie, who plays Baby, she is just outright batshit crazy in this movie. Like, she fucking makes Harley Quinn look like a fucking schoolgirl in a Catholic school. Unbelievable how crazy and how good she came off in this movie. She was my favorite thing about this movie. Every scene with her is just excellent. Like, it's just, I mean, she is like, and what I liked about this movie is it seems like, to me, this movie is like kind of split in, you know, into two sections. You got the first half, it's really like, it's just carnage. It kind of reminds me of how House of a Thousand Corpses was. It's like batshit crazy carnage. The second half, I'm going to get into that, reminds me more of the Devil's Reject. So, again, I watched the trailer, and I noticed that the trailer is not like the movie. The movie seems to be filmed a little grainy, and it makes it look like that old school like horror movie from the 80s. It has that feeling with, like, the way it looks with like the 9mm cameras. Really enjoyed that. That was one of my favorite things. Soundtracks in Rob Zombie's movies are always good. They're always entertaining. Bill Moseley, he did another fine acting job by him. And like I said, unfortunately, Captain Spaulding wasn't in the movie much, so they bring in a new character. I'm not going to go into too much depth, but like he's basically the brother of Otis. So I forgot his name there, but he's the half brother of Otis, and you've seen him before in other Rob Zombie movies. You know, he was the main clown in 31, the main killer. He was in Halloween 2 as the ambulance driver. So it's good that Rob Zombie likes to stick to the same actors, because it seems like they play their roles for Rob Zombie really good. He was pretty good himself. Bill Moseley was really good, but let me tell you, what stood above them was Baby. Baby was excellent. The acting was really good. I enjoyed the acting. Like, Rob Zombie movies never seem to not impress me with acting. Really good acting, and let me tell you, the first half of this movie is pretty bloody, and like Rob Zombie, man, it's vulgar, it's bloody, it's brutal, it's like, what the fuck? Like, his movies are just, you know what I mean? I enjoy them. So, only two of his movies have really left me down so far, Halloween 2 and Lords of Salem. This movie did not leave me down. This movie started out really strong. And the second half, it kind of fell off a little bit. I wasn't big on how the story went, and the ending was okay to me, but it was still entertaining as hell. The second half kind of, like I said, it reminded me more of the Devil's Rejects. It was a little slower. It seemed more like that Western style like movie. But the first half was just like, you're like, God, man, these, you know what I mean? Especially Sheri Moon Zombie, like her Baby character, how she was like just out there in the first one. The second one, she didn't seem as crazy to me. But let me tell you, overall, the movie is definitely entertaining. If you like brutal horror movies, in your face, like violence, this movie is definitely a go. My score of this movie would probably be a 7.5 out of 10, pushing maybe an 8 out of 10. Like I said, the first half, loved it. The first half, to me, would have scored this movie higher if that second half didn't slow down a little bit. And like I said, I wasn't big on the storyline they went with the first one. So overall, pretty good movie. Like, check it out, especially if you liked House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. It's definitely like up there with how good those are. I personally think House of a Thousand Corpses is the best. Acting good, violence, gore, brutality. That is really good. There's some brutal scenes in this movie. It is not for anyone, or it's not for everyone. So, like my girlfriend, she don't like Rob Zombie movies. A little too brutal for her. So, but overall, it's a good movie. Everybody should check it out. You know what I mean? It shows how they survived from the Devil's Rejects, how they took all those bullets, and to me, that was something that worried me. Were they gonna go like off into like a fantasy? Oh, like with the devil brought them back? No, they go over it right in the beginning. They say it was like 1 in a million that they survive, and then they rehabilitated them, and it takes place 10 years after they're on death row. You know what I mean? Otis eventually escapes, and then it's just from there. It just gets, the carnage is just way up there in this movie. Like I said, good acting, good story. The first half is definitely better than the second half. I don't like to spoil it, but overall, it's a pretty good movie. Check it out. Like I said, I give it a 7.5 because that second half drug just a little bit. First half, I would give about a 9 out of 10. So definitely a good movie. Definitely a good horror movie. And again, it was nice to see Sid Haig take on the Captain Spaulding role one more time. Sherry Moon Zombie was amazing. And Bill Moseley as Otis, crazy as usual. So, final score, 7.5 out of 10. This is a Mike Madness movie review. So, until next time, peace.
What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Why? Don't we make you laugh? Aren't we fucking funny?